Hello friends, this video on reproduction in animals part 8 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now let us talk about the male reproductive glands. Now as I said that there are three important male reproductive glands. Now here you see I have displayed the male reproductive system both from the side view. So this is the side view and this is the front view. So that it will become easier for us to label the different glands. So the first one which we are going to talk about now is the prostate gland. So these structures which you see here, so the green colored structures here, these are the prostate gland. So here you can see they also exist in pair. This is one and this is the other one. So on two sides you have two glands. So what do? They secrete milky fluid that helps in sperm's mobility. Now sperm's mobility is very important, as I have mentioned before also. Now, for fertilization to take place, fusion of the sperm, that is the male sex cell, and the female sex cell has to happen. Now, the female sex cell cannot move. So, the male sex cell, that is sperm, has to move. So, we need to provide all suitable conditions under which the sperm can move. Now, in order to increase the mobility of the sperm, what do? We make the environment such that a lot of fluid gets secreted, because if there are a lot of fluids present, it becomes easier for the sperm to move because it will just slip over the surface. Like normally that's how it happens. Let us suppose if water has fallen on the floor, what happens? Chances that you might slip increases. That's because the friction decreases and the floor becomes slippery. So in a very similar way here also, when a lot of fluids get secreted, that helps in the mobility of the sperms. So this prostate gland also secretes some milky fluid, and this fluid will help in the mobility of sperm. So that is the main function of prostate gland. The next gland is the seminal vesicle. So where do we have the seminal vesicles? Just above the prostate gland you see two brown colored structures. So these structures are called seminal vesicles. Now when we look at the male reproductive system from the front view, you are able to understand that okay, all these things exist in pairs. But when you look at the side view, you really don't understand where exactly they exist and where is the other pair. Like here also you can see the seminal vesicle being present here. This is the seminal vesicle. But here you cannot identify that okay, there is another pair also on the other side. So anyway, so this is the seminal vesicle and it produces a viscous fluid which help in sperm mobility in female. Now this is interesting. You might ask, sperm is being produced by the male. So why do we want it to move in female? That's because the female egg, as I said, the female sex cell will not be able to move. So this male sex cell, that is sperm, it has to move first inside the male body, then it has to come out from the urethra, and then it has to enter inside the female body, and then it has to travel inside the female body also until it meets the female sex cell. Now during its movement inside the female body, again it needs some fluid. So that time this seminal vesicles, it produces a viscous fluid which will enter inside the body of the female along with the sperms. So when the penis is inserted into the female body, so what it ejaculates is not only the sperms but also the viscous fluid which was secreted by the seminal vesicles. So this viscous fluid will help in movement of the sperms inside the female body. Now this is one function of this viscous fluid. This fluid also stimulates the uterine contraction to help the sperm move forward into the fallopian tube of female. Now right now you might not understand this because we have not spoken about the female reproductive structure. So when we talk about that, then I'll tell you that how exactly it helps in moving the sperm inside the female body, because it will actually control the movement of the tube through which the sperms need to move inside the female body. So now let us look at the third gland, that is the Cowpers gland. So this Cowpers gland, where do we have them? You see there are two very small dot-like structures. So these are the Cowpers glands. Now, Cowpers gland is also known as bulbourethral gland. So, this is also called bulbourethral gland. This is just another name of Cowpers gland. And what do? They secrete mucus to lubricate the female passage. So, mucus is a slimy substance. So, anything which is slimy will make the surface slippery, and that's what it does. So basically what do we see is secretion from all these glands. They constitute a fluid. So one of them secretes a milky fluid, one secretes a viscous fluid, one secretes a mucus. So basically all of these are fluids, and all these secretion together constitute the seminal plasma. So secretions from all these three forms the seminal plasma. So seminal plasma is a fluid which is made up of the secretion from all the male reproductive glands, and this seminal plasma is very rich in sugars like fructose, calcium, enzymes. So it is very much rich in all these things. Now this seminal plasma, within this seminal plasma is present the sperms, and due to the presence of all these fluids, the mobility of the sperms improve. So this is the function of the male reproductive gland. So by now you know the different structures of the male reproductive system. So I think these three glands are clear. And also let us quickly look at the other parts which we have discussed in the previous slide, because now we have a new picture, the front view. So here you can see the two testes. So this is one testis and this is another testis. So these are the two testes, and inside the testis the structure is being shown. As I was telling you that inside this testis you have the epithelial cells which are present, which lines the coiled tubules present inside the testis, and from there sperms are being produced. This elongated structure which you see here, this elongated structure is the penis. And then through the center of the penis you see a tube-like structure which opens to the exterior, and this is your urethra. And as I said, these are the testes, and the testis is enclosed in a structure that is called scrotum. So this is scrotum. And here you have this tube-like structure which is vas deferens. Before the vas deferens you have this coiled tube-like structure. So this coiled tube-like structure is the epididymis. Now, by now you have understood, okay, this is how the sperms actually get produced here, and then through these tube-like structures, that is vas deferens, it moves and finally it reaches the urethra. When it reaches the urethra, it already contains the secretion from all these various glands. They also pour in their secretion. So now sperm along with the seminal plasma, it moves out of the male body and enters inside the female body. So that's how it happens. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.